Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. The Couch Brotato Podcast presents The Karate Kid.
This is it. This is the end of the line.
Telling me.
Did I tell you about the pool here?
For Daniel LaRusso,
Is this the only pool you guys got?
the future seemed far from terrific
This place is a dump. You should go back to New Jersey.
Hey, I know it's hard, but we're not quitters, are we?
until he met the right girl.
She's beautiful. I say she's beautiful. I think she's beautiful.
Is that your address? You got it.
But that only angered the wrong guy. In the end, it will be in Daniel's hands, in his body, and most of all, in his mind.
Concentrate, focus, power. Remember balance. No mercy.
Columbia Pictures presents The Karate Kid.
Hey, what kind of belt do you have?
GC Penny, 398.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Couch Brotato Podcast. Lucas, what's happening, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise. We got us a special guest in the studio tonight. Lucas, Jack, have you two met?
I believe so.
Jack, out speaking to Mike. I had it muted. Sorry.
Yeah, we sure have.
All right. Well, we're doing the Karate Kid, if you didn't already know by the intro. Lucas, when was the first time you were introduced to the Karate Kid?
I don't really remember, but I've seen it a lot more lately because of Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to revisit it.
Right, Jack. What about you? When was the first time you watched the Karate Kid?
When I was around 7, maybe.
So
First time I saw it.
Not too long ago?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years because I'm around in the double digits.
That's true. I know for me, this is one of those movies that was on cable, like, pretty much all the time when I was a kid, like, on HBO especially. Like, you probably would catch it maybe every 3 months, and it ran constantly. So I've seen this movie hundreds of times.
Honestly, I probably saw it on HBO when we used to borrow HBO.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, we used to do that, too. We used to borrow the cable quite a bit from the cable company.
Yeah, we were just borrowing.
Yeah. I hope no one's listening. At least from the cable companies.
Right.
I've always felt that the Karate Kid was one of the forgotten, like, classics from the 80s. Like, when you think of, like, the best movies of the 80s, you typically think of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Or Back to the Future.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is another one.
I love Ghostbusters.
It is a good movie. But, like, the Karate Kid, up until recently, seems to be kind of forgotten, and Cobra Kai kind of resurrected that. It's hard to believe that this is, how many, let's see, they've done 4 movies, right?
Yeah, they've done this one,
Yep.
second one, the next Karate Kid.
Well, you forgot part 3.
Yeah, part 3, and then the next Karate Kid.
Then they did the remake, too, with
Yeah.
Jackie Chan, which...
It's all right. Jackie Chan, he's pretty good, but he's not good for Karate Kid.
Well, I mean, like, with the remake, it was basically, I always feel like when they do remakes that they should add something to it, and it was just, hey, let's remake the Karate Kid just because we don't have an idea, so let's just remake it again.
Listen, they did a backflip kick, all right? That's badass. That's something new.
That's true. Have you seen any of the original, like the sequels to the original Karate Kid?
Yeah, I've seen all of them, actually. I'm one of the, I think I'm in the minority of liking the next Karate Kid.
See, I don't even remember it that much. I remember I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now, see, for me, I love the Karate Kid 3.
It's all right.
Because it's so cheesy.
Oh, it's one of those movies that's like so bad it's good.
It's bad cheesy.
It is. I know for me, like they had Thomas Ian Griffin was one of the bad guys. He was kind of like the Dollar Tree version of Steven Seagal. He had a ponytail and
his name was Silver, right?
Terry Silver taught the Quicksilver method.
Terry Silver.
Amazing.
Yeah, see, Jack knows.
Yeah, because I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, are you interested in learning the Quicksilver method?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, we'll just rewatch The Karate Kid 3 over and over again until you get the gist of it.
No, I've already seen it twice. I don't need to see it 100,000 more times.
That's right. Well, you should watch it at least once a year.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
But it seemed like the Karate Kid kind of fell out of, like, people forgot all about it till a few years ago when the series Cobra Kai was introduced to, wasn't this on YouTube Red or YouTube Originals?
YouTube Red.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to pay for the first season to be able to see it.
So maybe like 20 people watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I remember when Netflix bought the series, and like all of a sudden it just took off. Netflix has the like their top 10. They recently, I think they did that like 6-8 months ago, where they would have like their top 10 programs on their service.
Yeah, it's like the top 10 of the day or something, or the week, something like that.
But Cobra Kai hung on for months, it seemed like, for that. I know I binge watched 1 and 2 in like a weekend. And
Yeah,
then
I watched 1 and 2, and I watched season 1 in like 3 hours maybe.
well, it would have been a little bit longer than 3 hours because they were
Probably.
half an hour a piece, and there's like 10 or 11 episodes.
Probably 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Oh, it's a good show to do that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Close enough. He was enjoying it, so time flew. It was 3 hours.
Yeah. See, look, Lucas is looking out for you, dude.
Yeah, at least.
But yeah, like the show is really taking off now. Like there's this huge renaissance for the Karate Kid. I think Netflix just signed up for like 2 more seasons of it.
Yeah, like season 4 and season 5, because season 3 came out early.
Well, I know they're at least doing a season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they've already started production on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out May 2nd, 2018.
Oh, is that what season 1 came on YouTube?
Yeah, I think.
Oh. See, I didn't even know that. So,
Because I looked it up.
well, hey, that's what you're here for, man. You're a crack researcher.
That's what Google's for. and Wikipedia.
Yep. Well, we'll start with the tail of the tape real quick, and then we're going to do something a little different today. I think this might be a thing going forward. We've kind of broken the movies down into categories, and we're kind of dissecting them that way.
Yeah.
So bear with us. This might be a little shaky, but we'll right the ship. Jack, are you ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, you're going to be your one cuss word on this episode, all right?
Can I say one more, please?
No, you can't say one more cuss word.
Man.
Lucas, are you ready to do this?
Fuck yeah.
Man.
All right, see, now Lucas got his cuss word in, so we're good.
And yeah, you need to get your cuss word in, sir.
I'm saving it for later.
Okay, nice. Because I don't want to hear that filthy mouth of yours.
The tail of the tape, which is something we're going to keep here on the show. The Karate Kid was released on June the 22nd, 1984. That was a huge movie year for like the popcorn flicks. Ghostbusters, we talked about that a minute ago. You
Yeah.
love that movie?
Oh my god.
That was 1984.
I've seen every single one.
Gremlins, which was a previous
Yes.
was a previous episode on the Couch Brotato Podcast. Check it out on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, load it up.
That's right. Box office did $90.8 million on an $8 million budget.
Actually, $104 million.
So somebody got a nice new car after this movie.
Jack actually corrected me in his crack research. He actually said, how much did it do?
$104 million in the box office.
So it did even more.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well,
So somebody got an even nicer car than the original nice car I was thinking of.
See, at least you got me here, because I did 3 hours worth of research.
Yeah, see, I'm shit in the bed, Lucas. You might be doing these shows with Jack going forward.
Man,
Yeah, maybe I should be the owner of
he's like a Brotato Tot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like a tater tot.
a Brotato Tot.
like a mini potato, like a tater tot or something. I don't know.
All right, well, we'll just get you a T-shirt made, all right?
Alrighty. Because I drew a picture and they're going to make T-shirts.
The director of this was John Avildsen. Do you know what he directed? Kind of a similar theme?
Rocky?
He did. He did the original Rocky.
Nailed it. Actually, I kind of remembered you saying something about it, so cheated it.
Well, it's probably when we tried to record this the other night. We had technical difficulties, which we always do on this show.
Yeah, that should be our podcast. Couch Brotato Technical Difficulties Podcast.
It's just called the Technical Difficulties Podcast. I mean, that's more of an appropriate title. I also thought about doing unnecessary but not unskilled. That could also be one too. Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, Elizabeth Shue, William Zabka, and Martin Kove are the stars, and very well received by critics. 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's because the other 11% are stupid.
That's right. They must have just ganged up like, hey, we'll just give all the praise to the original because we know 2 and 3 are going to suck.
2 and 3 don't suck.
They had a fair point there.
Yeah, the guy that directed Karate Kid actually died on June 16th, 2017
Oh, John Avildsen did?
in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, wow. You don't have his obituary pulled up, do you?
What does that mean?
That's like when someone passes away. It
No.
kind of gives like when they were born, when they passed away, who loved them, their family members, what they did.
He was also born in 1935.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks for the special heads up on John Avildsen.
No problem.
Also, here's one more fun fact for you. He directed the worst Rocky movie, the movie that shouldn't even exist, that piece of shit Rocky 5.
Oh, he did Rocky 5 too?
Yeah, that movie sucks.
We don't even acknowledge it here in this house.
That movie's terrible.
It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it just skips to Rocky Balboa. They did something with a guy named Rocky Balboa, but we just don't even consider that.
And then they also made 40
enough.
Years of Rocky. That doesn't make no sense.
It's a documentary.
Yeah, screw documentaries.
Hey, now, some are good. There's one about Pat Morita that just came out.
And there's also one of Michael Jordan, too.
Well, we'll save the last dance for another episode, all right?
Off topics.
Yeah. All right, so, Lucas, did you have anything you wanted to add before we go into the first category?
No.
Okay.
I don't, sorry.
All right. Well, the first category we're going to test run here is, did we decide we're going to call this the William Somerset
Yeah, we did.
Research Corner?
Yep, sure did.
Yep.
Is that what we're calling it? Okay. For those of you that haven't seen the movie Seven, there's a scene where Morgan Freeman's character... Oh, yeah, you won't be watching Seven anytime soon, dude.
Why?
Just trust me.
Okay.
There's a scene where Morgan Freeman's character, William Somerset, is doing research in a library. There's classical music playing. He's got the security guards hanging down below, playing cards. It looks like he's really doing some in-depth stuff, so that's what we do here. Actually, we just look up IMDb, but hey, you know what, though? You guys wouldn't know if we didn't say, right?
I mean, I feel like we're pretty professionals.
Oh, there's another T-shirt. We've come up with
Pretty
2
much
T-shirt ideas just tonight.
Yeah. One
Pretty
from
much
me and one from
professionals.
Lucas.
Yeah, the Brotato Tot and Brofessionals.
I'm on a roll tonight.
Yeah. Is your mind extra limber?
Oh yeah.
Or just the way we like it here on the show?
Took some medicine before I came on here.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. He took his vitamin, Jack.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, in William Somerset Research Corner, first fact, the Karate Kid, did you know, is based on a DC Comics character?
Yes, I sure did.
I did not.
Yeah, based on a DC Comics character, and Columbia Pictures gave permission to, or got permission from DC to use it in the movie, and they even give him a little shout out in the movie credits.
Oh, at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see it like when it's at the end. It says special thanks to DC Comics, and they'll give like trademark, all that jazz.
All that crap they do at the end.
That's right.
I never noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see a couple casting possibilities here. Charlie Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, and Sean Penn were all considered for the role of Daniel.
Now, who is C. Thomas Howell? Like, what is he in?
He was in The Outsiders with Ralph Macchio. He was in a movie called Secret Admirers, like a big 80s, one of those teen romantic comedies. He did a movie called Soul Man, which hasn't aged well. It's about a white guy who goes in blackface to get into a college.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that has not aged well at all.
No, it doesn't. I wouldn't imagine so.
But yeah, those are the three that I could find that were up for the role of Daniel. Now, for me personally, like, there's no way I can see Sean Penn or Charlie Sheen losing a fight at all. Like, especially Sean Penn.
Yeah, well, and Charlie Sheen would be all hyped up on some booger sugar. So.
Boogie sugar.
And Sean Penn just seems like he's pissed off all the time. So I can't see William Zabka like really putting up much of a fight against him too.
You think he just grew out his mustache in anger?
Oh yeah. When he gets angry, it's like when Hulk Hogan rips his shirt off. It's just like he sprouts a mustache when he's in fight mode.
Yeah.
The actor Mako was considered for the role of Mr. Miyagi. Now, Mako is one of those actors that like you probably don't recognize the name, but he was in a bunch of stuff in the 80s and the 90s. You might remember him, the movie Sidekicks with Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis. He was the guy that was made the dumplings in the restaurant.
No, I don't even know if I've seen Sidekicks.
Oh, you haven't seen Sidekicks with basically Jonathan Brandis dreams of being Chuck Norris?
Huh. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell.
Well, you'll have some homework this weekend.
Why are you my friend if you haven't seen Psychic?
Wow.
I have never seen Psychic.
I was going to say, yeah, don't be throwing stones, buddy. You haven't seen that movie either. But yeah, like he was filming Conan the Destroyer, so he couldn't do it.
Oh. Well, I think they got it right anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Mako's probably, God rest his soul, is kicking his ass for that one. Because Conan the Destroyer is not very good.
Yeah.
Did you know that the song You're the Best by Joe Esposito wasn't written for this movie?
I did know that because me, you, and producer Adam had a conversation about it earlier.
That's right. It was actually written for Rocky 3.
Yeah, it was.
Which, I feel like it would fit maybe a little bit, but the music is perfect for this movie anyway. Right.
Well, it got rejected for Survivor's Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, well, yeah, then they definitely made the right choice.
Yeah, that's like if you're like a NFL team, you bench like Tom Brady because you've got Aaron Rodgers as your starter.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there thinking about that analogy. It was blowing my mind. Like, shit, if you had those two, I don't think you can lose. I really don't.
Well, yeah, you probably would be losing because if you've got both those guys on your roster, you can't divert your salary cap anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, you can't afford anyone else.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
You and I are playing cornerbacks for whoever they're playing for.
Oh, shit, then we're definitely going to win.
Yeah, we're getting torched by Jerry Rice, who's in his 50s now.
I'm taking out his damn knees. I ain't got time to be chasing his ass around.
Damn, you're going old school football right there.
Oh, yeah. We're making him flip and all kinds of shit.
Producer Jerry Weintraub didn't want to cast Pat Morita because Pat Morita was known more as a comedic actor. And he didn't think that he would be able to take on a dramatic role.
He is pretty funny in that movie.
He is, but he's also, he's got some acting chops, too. I mean, can you really see anybody else as Mr. Miyagi?
No, not really.
No.
Well, I definitely can't.
No.
Heck no.
Yeah, I just read. I'll have to look it up at some point. But yeah, they just released a documentary about.
Pat Morita.
Yeah, like about Mr. Miyagi. I'll look it up here while I'm reading this stuff. Or actually, Jack, since you're such an ace researcher, can you look it up for me?
Yes, sir.
Fun fact for you about Pat Morita. He does not speak in that heavy Asian accent, Japanese accent. He actually, he's from California, so he speaks just normal English.
Yeah, he was actually he was on a show called Happy Days, which was a huge show back in the 1970s. Like, everybody watched that show. The producers, I would imagine Jerry Weintraub, who seems to have a real hard-on for Pat Morita at this point, they wanted to cut the drunk scene because they felt it slowed the pace of the movie down. But
I think it was perfect to leave it in there because it really showed Daniel, a different side of Mr. Miyagi and got him to understand him a little bit better and why he was teaching him the way he was.
Yeah, John Avildsen actually wanted to keep it, and he fought for it, and eventually he won out. Oh, that Pat Morita documentary is called More Than Miyagi, and it just came out a few weeks ago.
January 8th, 2021.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, it's very recent. It's going to be on Apple TV on February the 5th.
Oh, all right.
So check it out if you're interested in Pat Morita. I only remember him in Happy Days because that was like a big show in my grandparents' house when I was a kid because of the reruns. This movie, and then he did a movie with Jay Leno where they played like the buddy cops. I think it's called Crash Course. I don't remember. Yeah, Jay Leno doesn't sound like a movie I'm going to sit down and watch. Let's be real.
Right.
This one I thought was actually really cool. Chuck Norris was rumored to have been offered the role of Kreese. He said that he turned it down. Well, the rumor was he turned it down due to not wanting to play someone so sadistic that taught kids. But I guess Chuck later on went on to say he wasn't offered that role, but if he was, he would have turned it down for the reasons I just said.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the ultimate good guy.
Well, that, and I think if Chuck Norris would have been Kreese, this movie would have been like 5 minutes long. It would have just been introducing him, and then that's it.
Yeah, him snapping his fingers, and then everybody turning to dust.
Mm-hmm. Then the last fact that I have, Vidal, the guy that Johnny fights in the semifinals, is actually a very proficient karate. I think he's got a black belt from what I read.
Wow.
And he did most of the fight choreography, and he came up with the crane kick.
Huh.
And he was the body double for Pat Morita when he was like working on the crane kick, the silhouette. That's actually Daryl Vidal.
Oh, wow.
And he has a karate school to this day, so if you're ever in California, want to learn some martial arts from the guys that the guy taught the Karate Kid, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I would do it.
Oh, so would I. You have anything to add, Lucas?
The kids in the neighborhood at the very beginning actually live in that neighborhood, and they kept bugging the cast and the crew. So the director told them if they left them alone, they could be in that scene in the movie. So they're actual real people, not actors.
Oh, I bet them kids are telling that for the rest of their lives. I would even dare to say one kid, when he grew up, used that as a pickup line.
Hey, I was in the Karate Kid right at the beginning.
It's like, hey, girl, you know I'm in the Karate Kid? Yeah, just watch the beginning of the movie.
And then he shows her, like, the opening scenes, like, there I was, girl. How'd you like the movie?
You weren't in the Karate Kid. And she walks out.
Fun fact, Elizabeth Shue is Abraham Lincoln in this movie.
She is one of the Allie with an I. Just remember that, Jack. Allie with an I. That's right. She's not Allie with an E or a Y.
And Daniel with an L.
Mm-hmm. And Miyagi with an I, too. Yeah, Elizabeth Shue's Allie in this. top 5 '80s girlfriend.
Yep.
For
And
sure.
She's really loyal too.
Yeah, like Daniel is like he's so fucking mean to her.
Daniel was mean to everybody in this movie.
And he like the scene where he gets the car, and we'll dive into that here in a minute about Daniel being well, you know what? Let's just do it now before we go to the next category.
Sounds good.
You are of the same belief that I am, and this has kind of become like popular, like an internet theory over the last few years that Daniel was actually the villain of the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's going around fighting everybody. He started the shit with Johnny. I mean, he's the bad guy.
Yep, started it on the beach. Johnny was just trying to, you know, like, hey, he was just trying to talk to his girlfriend, and then Daniel decides he wants to put his 2 cents in to impress Allie, and then he just won't stay down. I thought it was kind of funny though that his buddies just kind of ditch him after that.
Well, I mean, if I watch my friend get his ass kicked like that, I'd probably leave him too.
Also, if I got beat up by a karate dojo biker gang, you would just like, hey, you know, nice knowing you, dude, but I'm out.
Well, I mean, if they're all fighting you, I'll jump in and we'll lose together. But if it's one-on-one and homeboy's got you in the sand, I mean, it'd be kind of shitty for me to jump in.
Well, I'm not saying that. I was under the impression that you would say like what they did to him is like, well, he got his ass kicked. Nice knowing you, man. Like our friendship is done.
No, that's
that's fucked up. Like there's a ninja biker gang out front of my house right now. But yeah, like and Daniel's shitty to Allie. Like he's ditched her a couple times. Like there's that scene at the where he tries to basically, I think he's going in there to show like, hey, I've got a car now, so I'm hot shit. But like she's what I found to be funny is she was like checking out all those guys getting out of the pool. You know, it's like it's almost like, hey, I could be with one of these guys if I want to.
Yeah. Set him with this scrawny bully over here who wants to fight everybody.
But Allie, yeah, she just like, I don't know what it is about Daniel, but like he just calls her slugger and then everything's cool again.
That is the ultimate compliment, I guess.
Yeah, after like her friends like basically like tell like Daniel like, hey, you know, like she slapped the shit out of Johnny at the polo club and everyone else was laughing at you because you had that obscene amount of tomato sauce dumped on your all-white suit.
Yeah, I believe you made the reference to Kevin from The Office dropping that pot of chili.
Yeah, it looks like if Kevin was carrying that pot of chili into the office and he dumped it all over Daniel LaRusso. But yeah, like, I don't know, like you had some thoughts about Johnny Lawrence too, besides just the fight scene at the beach, didn't you?
Well, I think Johnny, you know, he was over there to try to talk to the girl because his heart was broken, and there's a punk over here starting shit with him. Now, he was a little aggressive about it. Could have maybe taken his foot off the gas a little bit, but I mean, the man was heartbroken. He wanted the hottest girl in school back.
Yeah. Well, not only that, like, if you notice every time they get into a fight, like, Johnny is kind of like, okay, we're done. And then Daniel does something to piss him off.
Yeah, I mean...
He
wanted no part of Daniel getting injured.
No. I mean, I guess the one time that they were on their were those motorcycles or dirt bikes?
I don't know. They look like a combination of both, really.
I think they were dirt bags. I mean...
Well, they were dirt bags. They knocked him off the hill.
Dirt bikes. I meant to say.
Well, yeah, there was that time they ran him off the cliff or that hill. That was pretty fucked up. But
yeah, I mean, that's about the only time they were really dicks to him. But if we're being honest, I mean, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah, well, each time, though, he tries to squash it, and then, like, he does that move where he turns that water on when Johnny is somehow has headphones on and is rolling a joint in a school bathroom.
School bathroom.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like, if the principal and like the staff is just afraid of him, but like, he's in there taking, like, I don't know if he wasn't taking a dump, was he?
Yeah, I think he was taking a dope.
But yeah, he's just in there rolling a J, has his headphones on. Not, like, he didn't care if a teacher was going to come in on him or not. And then Daniel runs the hose and gets him, like, just drenches him. And then, like, he deserves that.
Who, Johnny?
Yeah.
No, Daniel deserves getting his butt kicked for that.
Yeah, he
Right.
does.
And Johnny didn't deserve that because, there was really no beef going on at the time.
Well, Jack, let me ask you, since you are a young, fresh face to the Karate Kid saga, is Johnny the good guy or the bad guy in this?
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Why is he a bad guy?
Because he kicks Daniel's butt.
Well, yeah, he does, except for the end. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, tough shit. But
Well, I've seen it before.
yeah. I mean, like, why do you think he's a bad guy?
Because he fights people and he did that thing to Daniel.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's the red leather jacket makes him a bad guy.
Yeah, he rips off Michael Jackson in Thriller.
Michael Jackson.
Well, no, actually, I think Michael Jackson rips him. It was Thriller 84 or 85.
I want to say 84.
85, I think.
All right, well, we're splitting hairs here. If you guys listening, send us an email. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. 84, 85, somewhere in that neighborhood.
86.
Somebody ripped off somebody.
Somebody owes somebody money for a leather jacket.
I would have done the research if I would have known that we were going to go into, like, who ripped off who with the red leather jacket. So
Missed opportunities, I guess.
Yeah. So, Jack, you think he's a villain?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm curious to hear some of your guys' theories on this. We just kind of dipped into it a little bit. We're trying to keep this at a certain length, so please hit us up on the socials or send us an email. When we get somebody that actually sends us an email that's not a Viagra ad or somebody trying to sell us an obscenely expensive service that we're never going to use.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, we'll promote you guys for $300 a month.
Yeah.
Nah, dog. I don't know what kind of scratch you think I make, but
yeah,
it ain't that.
This isn't the Joe Rogan experience, all right? We don't have that kind of money here.
No,
Right.
we don't.
We don't even have equipment that works half the time.
Well, then
well,
why
no,
did you buy
half the time
$60
it's about what it
microphones
works.
then, sir?
What'd you say, dude?
I said half the time is about what it works.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't have $300. What was you saying, Jack?
I said, then why did you have, and why are the mics working, huh, sir? Can you explain that?
Well, the mics are working, but we always seem to have a technical difficulty.
Yeah, because it took about 100,000 times to do the intro.
It did. But I think it turns out nice.
Yeah, because it kind of repeated itself about 1,000 times.
All right. Well, enough of our technical difficulties and how shitty our production values are.
Yeah, how shiny our things are.
Let's go to our favorite scene. This is the category that if you were, I don't know, say you're on your way to a wedding and you're waiting on your significant other to get ready, and you happen to catch this on TV. This could be the scene that like might cause you to be 10, 15, 20, 2 hours late to the wedding.
Or 2 hours, man. They're already walked out. They're walking by you. You just throw birdseed at them. Like, see, I was here.
Well, yeah, but see that if you do that, you get there just in time for them to start serving food.
That is very true.
Well, I've got 5 nominees here. After I'm done, you guys can chime in if you have any others.
All right.
First scene I've got here is the beach scene that we discussed where Allie and Daniel meet for the first time, and then Johnny and the Cobra Kai come in on their dirt bikes.
Yep.
Right. They come in on their dirt bikes, and then Johnny tries to break Allie's radio. Then Daniel wants to be the hero, and then gets his ass kicked. Then
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, then like Daniel's new friends in his new hometown ditch him. So that's the first one. Second one is the Halloween dance. This is the one where Daniel comes dressed as the shower. And then Daniel takes a hose into the stall where Johnny's at and runs water. And then the Cobra Kai chase him back to his apartment, kick the shit out of him. And then Daniel's saved by Mr. Miyagi. That's when he finds out Mr. Miyagi's a karate master. See, the third one is when Mr. Miyagi shows Daniel that like all the chores he had been doing for him over the last month like actually served a purpose, and he kind of shows him, the wax on, wax off, the paint the fence, all that stuff is actually training him how to do karate.
Wax on, wax off.
That's right. We'll get to that here in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that scene, you just kind of you can kind of feel the momentum building for Daniel at that point.
Mm-hmm. I also have down the Mr. Miyagi drinking scene. Pretty powerful stuff. I mean, I know we said earlier that they said that this kind of slowed the momentum down, but like you said, it showed a side of Mr. Miyagi we hadn't seen yet. And it kind of gives you a little bit of his backstory that he was married and had a child, and they unfortunately passed away. And now
and won the Medal of Honor.
Mm-hmm. And now, like, he kind of looks at Daniel as like a son, which pretty much he is. Like, that's Daniel's father figure in the later movies. He actually got nominated for an Oscar for that too, and that they think that that's the scene that got it for him.
I mean, it would make sense. He does that scene really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he should have got the Oscar.
I don't know who was nominated that year. I mean, I think it's an accomplishment in itself that this kind of movie got an Oscar nomination, period. It's not really an Oscar movie, but still pretty cool, huh?
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. I also have the You're the Best montage through the All Valley tournament, where basically you see like the tournament progressing and they have Joe Esposito's You're the Best playing. And then I have the Daniel and Johnny fight in the finals. Either one of you had anything you want to add to that?
I think it would be the beach scene for me.
Well, I mean, like, do you have any other scenes that you would add besides those, or
nah?
What about you, Lucas?
Two scenes. The scene where Daniel first meets Mr. Miyagi because the sink is broken and Mr. Miyagi is the maintenance man.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene where Mr. Miyagi is trimming the bonsai trees.
Okay.
Just because the song right then, and then like I don't know, just the way it's acted out, that scene, just it feels, when you're watching it, feels really important.
Mm-hmm. Jack,
so that'd be two scenes that I would add to it.
Yeah, Jack, you said you didn't have any extra scenes you would add to this?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, like, if I see this on TV, the scene I'm stopping for and watching always is the You're the Best fight montage. Like, I am a sucker for the montage sequence, and I think the You're the Best one is probably one of the best of all time.
If it was on TV, I would stop for when Johnny and Allie meet for the first time.
That's yours? So, yeah. Like, you don't get fired up, want to fight somebody when you see the You're the Best fight montage?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, that's 2 cuss words you've gotten in on me now.
3, actually.
Okay. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, I just love that, and just, like, I think besides, like, Rocky 4, like, anything in Rocky 4, and then the Eye of the Tiger in 3, like, this is probably the best of the 80s. What about you, Lucas?
Well, probably the beach scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because that's where the whole rivalry started. You know, like, well, if I hadn't watched Cobra Kai, it would maybe be a different scene.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, having watched Cobra Kai, you want to go back to the point where it all began.
Yeah.
So the big rivalry, it started there at the beach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So whenever I see that, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm locked in now.
Oh, so you and Jack are in agreement. So this is the best scene in the movie, according to the Couch Brotatoes and the Brotato Tot.
Yeah, Tato Tot for me.
All right. Well, I'm still going with the You're the Best fight montage. That just...
It's your opinion.
I'll go across the street and fight the next door neighbors right now if someone plays that song.
Oh, the old bat.
Yeah, our old neighbor across the street. I'll go fight her right now. I'll wake her up out of bed like, let's go.
Yeah. She'll be like, what the hell are you doing in my yard?
I was like, let's dance.
And
then you just have to cue that guitar riff at the beginning, and then, yeah, I'm going to jail.
FBI, open up.
All right,
Russ
now.
won't be at work. He beat up an old lady.
Yeah, well, somebody, it's like the bull that sees red. It's like, for me, it's play You're the Best. This is like I'm a bull now.
Yeah, if somebody plays that song, I would literally go in, kick the woman's door down, and then wake her up out of bed, and then kick her right in the roundhouse, kick her butt.
Wow, have you been thinking about doing this already?
Yeah, mostly.
So you daydream about it. All right, well, now we'll go into the next category. We'll leave beating up our next door neighbor in the rear view, okay?
Oh, yay.
All right. Now our next category, we're gonna test drive. We don't have a name for this one yet, but your favorite quote, the one that you would, if you have a friend that's seen this movie, the one you'd throw at them.
I think I got a good name for it.
What's that?
The Tato Tot.
Well, we won't call it the Tater Tot. That's you.
The Tato Tot quotes. That's what it should be called.
All right, we'll mark that under consideration. All right.
Good.
All right. My choices are wax on, wax off. Get him a body bag, yeah. Sweep the leg. The strike hard, strike fast, no mercy motto, the Cobra Kai. And this one just because I think it's hilarious how he acts, but when Daniel gets kicked off the soccer team and he says, this school sucks. Those would be my nominees. Those would be my 5.
I don't have 5, but one of the lines that I thought was really hilarious. It doesn't belong as like one of the best lines, but there was a scene where Daniel was walking with Allie, and one of the Cobra Kai guys said, "I didn't know it was worm walking week." And it just caught me so off guard because it's such a stupid ass line. It's hilarious.
I also get a kick out of when Daniel's changing for the tournament, and then Dutch and Bobby and the rest of the guys come in and see him in the locker room, and then Dutch just looks at Daniel. It's such a childish line because, "What's the matter? Mommy not here to dress ya?" I was like, it's so fucking juvenile, but it's great. But Jack, I know you had some written down in your notes.
Yeah, I have 3. I have when Miyagi said walk left side, and then when Miyagi said wax on, wax off. Mm-hmm. And then when Daniel, all right, what are the rules here? And then when Bobby says, get him a body bag, yeah. All
right. Well, it sounds like at least the members of my household, it's either get him a body bag or wax on, wax off.
Get him a body bag, yeah.
I think, for me personally, I think we use the get him a body bag, at least like amongst us. Like, I think we yell that maybe, once or twice a month at one another.
Oh, yeah.
We
use that one pretty frequently.
Which we actually messed it up. We used to say, put him in a body bag. Isn't that what
I think he says, get him in a body bag.
Yeah, he says, get him in a body bag, yeah. Although I will say that when I was a kid, wax on, wax off was like, everybody used that one. I think that's probably a more iconic line. But I think since we gravitate more towards the Cobra Kai versus the Miyagi-Do, I'd say either get him a body bag or sweep the leg. We used to use that one a lot too.
We still use sweep the leg.
Yeah, whenever we deal with somebody that's unruly, we just say sweep the leg. We'll just start doing that here. Like when we go to work, we just start like somebody just gives us a rough way to go. Just whisper into the microphone, sweep the leg, and just like watch somebody do like a leg sweep. Fuck it, we're in a pandemic, so why not?
I like it. I like the idea.
That's 4. We're just gonna do a swear word counter for the rest of the night.
Alrighty.
Does he owe money at the end of it, based on how many he said?
No, I'll probably have to give his mom money for letting him cuss on a podcast. But
Can I say my favorite?
no, you're not dropping that bomb. Nope.
No, I'm talking about my favorite line.
Oh, I thought you were going to try to drop another cuss word. Like, oh no, you're not dropping the one I'm thinking you're going to. Go ahead. What's your favorite line, buddy?
Mine's probably when Bobby said, "Get him a body bag, yeah."
Yeah.
That's the third time I've said that now.
Yeah.
Well, it's just an iconic line. Who
It-
cares?
Hey, it's your opinion, right?
Yep.
All right. Our final category is who owns this movie. Like, to me, this is like, who is the performer in this, or member of the crew that like is irreplaceable. So like, you could take anybody else out, but this person is irreplaceable. So my three choices. Well, actually, I just have two. It's either Ralph Macchio or Pat Morita. Although I'm going to give a very special consolation prize to William Zabka, who's probably, I would say, outside of Biff Tannen, probably the most iconic movie villain of the 80s, like for the teen-oriented movies.
Yeah, I mean, people like years later were trying to fight William Zabka on the street.
Yeah, I think that it kind of hurt him as a performer, too, because I think he kind of got typecast because he not only played a bully in this, but he was also the bully in Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield. And he was also the kind of the quasi-villain in Just One of the Guys, which is a very underrated 80s comedy if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, yeah, dude, watch it. It's. I mean, if you like the 80s stuff, like, I'm kind of a kid of that era, so I kind of gravitate towards that stuff more, but
yeah, I was barely alive in the 80s.
God, that just makes me feel so old.
You are. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, for me, my two nominees would be Ralph Macchio or Pat Morita. What about you, Jack?
Mine would either be Pat Morita or Ralph Macchio.
Oh, you go one of them two, and what about you, Lucas?
I mean, for me, it's just one. I mean, you can't replace Pat Morita in this movie.
Yeah, I would think so. Like, I think he's the irreplaceable one. Because, I mean, well, they did it with The Next Karate Kid. They replaced Ralph Macchio.
Right.
And plus, I mean, Pat Morita got an Oscar nomination. Just, I don't know, he just, like, I don't know, like, I think when we were talking about William Zabka's kind of typecast as, like, a bully, I think Pat Morita actually typecast himself twice. I mean, first he was kind of like the Ken Jeong-esque, like, comedian in like the Happy Days, and then like he kind of became a Confucius type character from the Karate Kid.
Right.
But I mean, he's irreplaceable in this. I mean, you could put like just about anybody, and even, I mean, they tried with Jackie Chan. It just, that movie to me, it's okay, but it doesn't work for me.
Right. It's just, it doesn't have the same effect without Pat Morita in it.
Yeah. So we're in agreement. It's Pat Morita.
Yeah, probably.
I believe so.
All right. Well, we did have a category in here, but since we've got a young man here, we can't use these. We're going to introduce this on the next episode.
What is it? Just tell me.
It's the Vincent Hanna Movie Grade Award, but you can't be a part of this because there's a lot of profanity, and I don't want to hear you drop some of these like when you're at your grandparents' house tomorrow night.
Probably a good idea.
But just for the sake of this, we're going to do the potato grading scale, which 4 would be a classic, 3 is really good, 2 is it's okay, and then 1 is like you'll never watch it again.
What about a 5?
No, we're just doing 4
Okay.
because it's our show.
Okay.
So, Jack, how many potatoes would you give The Karate Kid?
100,000.
Wow, it's that good.
Yes. I love Karate Kid and Cobra Kai.
Well, how about we just give it 1 through 4? What would you give it?
4.
You give it a 4 spuds?
Yep.
All right, Lucas, what about you?
Give me 4 potatoes.
I'm actually going to go 3. And the only reason why is because the hero is kind of a dick in this movie. So,
yeah, I think I'm in the 3 category too. It's still a great movie. 3 is like that's probably like a B, Jack, since you go to school, and it's been decades since I went.
I'm all A's.
But yeah, like 3 is like a good solid B, B plus.
How about a B minus?
Nah, it's
Yeah,
a B
I mean,
plus.
Pivot butt.
It's not like one of the greatest movies of all time, but it's still really good, and you should really watch it.
And it still holds up incredibly well over these years too.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, next week we will introduce the Vincent Hanna movie grading scale. I'm really looking forward to testing out the old Al Pacino impression.
What is your next episode, by the way?
I look forward to it as well, my friend.
Well, Jack, it's funny you mentioned that. We'll announce that on the social media pages. I'll tell you as soon as we go off the air, though.
Okay, because I don't have social media.
No, we're going to keep it that way for a while.
I'm only 9 years old.
Now, Lucas, I will have one question I will ask here before we hop off here. Is this the best Handyman becomes a mentor movie?
I believe so. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty close with every other movie that I can't think of, because I don't know of any other movie.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Handyman Becomes a Mentor, which came out in the 70s. That's not a real movie, but maybe we should write that. At least get it picked up by Netflix.
You never know. It might be.
All right. Well, that concludes this episode. I hope you guys dig this new format. Like I said, it's going to be some rocky waves before we get the gist of it, but I think this is going to be a cool format to play around with.
Rocky, get it, the movie. But all
right, mic drop, folks. Jack's out of here. But don't forget, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. Please leave us a review if you dig what we're doing, and if you don't like what we're doing, leave us a review so we can get better. So until next time, Jack, it was awesome having you on the show.
Leave them 5 stars. See ya.
All right. You heard it from the young man. Leave us 5 stars.
Write a good review, dang it.
All right. Lucas, you got anything you want to add before we head on out?
No, just thank you, everybody who is still with us.
I've got one more thing.
I don't remember which number episode this is, but if you've made it this far with us, we love you. Thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be number 11.
Wow. Yeah, Gremlins, Back to the Future, yeah.
Yeah, 11.
11.
Yeah, we'll just keep pumping them out as long as we get some people listening to it. So, all right. Well, until next time, please check us out. You can also find us on Facebook at Couch Brotato Podcast. We're on Instagram, also at Couch Brotato Podcast. So go check us out. Get some show updates. We do some really cool poll questions from time to time, and maybe, sometime soon we'll have some merch out there. You never know. So
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All right, guys. Well, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
See ya.